Hi, guys, intrepid viewers. So good to see you. And it's not long now. So today I've decided to just answer your questions. So we'll get stuck into it because there's quite a few of them. And here we go. Now, the first question from Julie, who's a New Yorker. The Central Park Five are now going ahead with suing Trump, aka the Yeti, for defamation because he brought up their story again wrongly as recently as the debate with Kamala. And so, although they've already settled, I think they got what was it, in 2014, they got a $41 million settlement from the city of New York, but they are more than entitled to go for this. So let's have a quick look. How will that defamation case go? Okay. Central Park 5, which is why there should not be a death penalty anywhere, because people are wrongfully convicted. People are too poor to get proper representation. You have shortcuts taken, in counties with DNA and stuff. There's too many points in the system where things can go very wrong. And that's before you even talk about coerced confessions. So their story is symbolic and needs to be kept alive. So let's have a look. Defamation case against Trump. Let's have a look. Okay. Oh, my cards are upside down. The Empress. Knight of Wands. Oh, Kamala and the Six of Pentacles. Look, here we go with this. The Empress magnifies things. So I think this case will once again get some of the news it deserves. It's a bit of an embarrassment and a burden to the modern system because even young people can remember this incident. It wasn't, 50 years ago. It's a burden and an embarrassment, and it should be to the legal system. Now, this could be, I think, here. Um, it's often my card for Kamala. She gets variations of the Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands. But in this, um, she would not be disinterested in this case. Let's put it this way. Although she's got a million things on her plate, she'll be keeping an eye on this. And yes, an agreement will be reached. So their lawyers will probably ask for some massive sum of money, and they probably won't get that, but they'll definitely get something because, as we know, they'd be at the back of the queue for legal cases with the Yeti. Okay, so many people need to be paid out first. But it's like Ruby Freeman and Seamus and E. Jean Carroll and everything. It is and isn't about the money. Sure, everyone would like massive compensation for things that have gone wrong, but in each of these cases, it's beyond that. Any of these people would rather have had their lives back. I think I'm safe in saying that. So there we go. That was our first one. Now, speaking of awful people, the removal trucks are symbolically on their way to Giuliani's apartments. He's going to end up, I hope he's friendly with his son, because I don't think he is with his daughter, and he's going to have to live in the basement, or maybe old girlfriends or something. I don't know what's going to happen to Rudy. I'm not going to read on him. We can only just observe the process. And already, notice he's dead to the Yeti. His own fault. Walked in, open eyes, couldn't wait to do it, kept doing it because of Rick. Okay, now, aha, the Trump camp leaked that he is considering top of his list for AG should he get in. La 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 la. We're just talking hypothetically. Should he get in, Dread, he'd put in Aileen Cannon as the AG. I mean, you think things couldn't get any worse, but they so can. Now, that's a problem for them. As Glenn Kirshner explained, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Midas Touch, Legal AF. They're all doing great work. And Glenn Kirshner, who I've warmed to over the last 5 years, is saying, not for the first time, this means she either has to recuse on the Jack Smith case or the 11th Circuit have run out of roadblocks to getting rid of her. He seems quite keen on that. I want to have a quick look at that because she's just like Trump. He kept doing illegal things from the moment he was empowered, right? Over and over. Remember, he was saying to people, stay in my properties, in my hotel, contravening the emoluments clause. Remember, we all had to work out what the emoluments clause was back in the day. Then he's had 8 or 9 years of your taxes being used to pay his security to stay in his properties. Ah, you know, there were many opportunities for the system to not let it get this far. But anyway, where was I? Will this be enough to push the 11th Circuit into taking Canon off the case? Now, there's no time, obviously, between now and the election, but everything to do with the Jack Smith case has to be shunted up the to-do list, along with the Supreme Court itself. So let's have a look. Can this leak, will it be enough in itself to take her off this case? Is it enough? Yes or no? Mm, mm. Eh, look, I wouldn't have chosen these cards if I wanted a wholesome yes. But look, yet another compromise. Money speaking, in the sense that the entrenched system, this is the legacy card, they do things so slowly. However, I think she's not sleeping well and she has no one to blame but herself. So my answer to the actual question is no, it's not going to be as clean cut as they see evidence of this leak because I guess you can't assume that he was going to do that or something. It's not enough. It's not enough. Love to be wrong, but these things are cumulative, right? Things add up. Would have liked a couple of aces there or something. Okay, now hanging in here. Pennsylvania, viewer from Pennsylvania. She said she's not from Lancaster County, where this story comes from, but she's from the next county. And she said thousands of irregular vote registrations have been discovered. Now, I think that's a good thing. So routine checks revealed these irregularities, addresses, social security numbers and something. 2,500 of them, not good, not good. I think, yeah, a spokesperson described it as an organized effort, and what they're looking into is paid canvassers who were in that district and what they did. So let's have a look. What's the story here? I might move to the Deviant Moon cards. What's the story here? Lancaster County. It's good they've been found, either way. But it's a red county, generally speaking. So what's going on with these Lancaster, Pennsylvania vote tampering? What's happening? Oh, Queen of Cups reversed. Oh, so. Well, look. This was discussed between two people. Note the red hat. I don't think they're going to find out this was a Democratic plot, right? Apparently, it's got like 360,000 registered voters. I don't think the Democrats were behind this at all, not just for the obvious reasons. I just think we've already heard on the grapevine there's been bad behavior with Republican canvassers, basically not doing what they're paid to do. So I think this is going to be part of that. Queen of Cups. Now, this is normally the quite loving queen reversed. So I think, and it's right next door to the King of Swords, which is a legal card, and the Knight of Wands. I love these cards. Look at this image. The Knight of Wands, I think this is desperation, trying to catch a ride on the back of the beetle. It's like they don't even trust their own Republican voters. And why is that? It's because they're turning out in unprecedented numbers in podcasts and videos and interviews. And we've seen them all, these different groups of Republicans for Kamala. Right? I think they're freaked out and they're going to find out. And you won't hear much about it. Why? Because they're Republicans. So just like two Trump voters attempting to assassinate him, it didn't even make 3 days of news. Imagine if it was a Democrat, it'd be bring back public hanging and carrying on. Okay, so I was just talking about Republicans crossing over. A mayor from somewhere in Wisconsin was on television this week and he stopped what he was saying and he said, I can't do this anymore. I'm voting for Kamala, a Republican mayor in Wisconsin. Oh my God, love it. Okay, so now, oh yes, a reminder generally, words going out through grassroots campaign to women saying, particularly in these backward states, voting is a private thing. And I had a comment this week from a woman in North Carolina, and she was saying, yeah, husbands and wives were being sent into a cubicle. So that's happening. They're trying every little thing they can, but the rallies are not going well. I mean, I'm sure you've had a smirk at looking at some of the coverage. Not only are the Yeti's rallies shrinking to nothing, not only are people leaving early, they're now leaving before he starts. And after the massive delay, because he was too busy trying to impress Joe Rogan, who's far too easily impressed. I mean, even he must have thought, I am sitting across the deck from an absolute Looney Tune. They weren't happy, and that's after the no buses in Coachella because the people were so rude to the drivers, they refused to come back. That's after the no aircon because he never pays his bills. I think they're getting a little bit disenchanted, you'd have to say. Okay, so, oh yeah, what I want to know now, because a viewer brought this up, but I think she's absolutely right. Elon Musk currently has contracts with the federal government for the last few years of up to 15.4 billion federal money, your money. And what's happened essentially is he's made Starlink jump over NASA. So NASA now appears to me, correct me if I'm wrong, the muskrat's playground. And so what he's after long term is control literally of the world and space. That's how much of a megalomaniac he is. But the question from the viewer and myself is, after the Kamala Walsh success, will they rein in these Elon Musk contracts? Will they rein in these Starlink contracts, SpaceX, all of this? Because you guys are making him the billionaire that he is so he can undermine your democracy. Uh, no one should have that much power. Space should not belong to an individual or a country for that matter. So, post-election, next time we'll have to talk about the Supreme Court after the election. How delicious. Will Harrison Walls rein in Elon? And of course, the Yeti calls him Leon all the time because he can't get anything right. Will they actually make a move on him? Or is it too complicated and they've got too much on? And what's going to happen with the relationship? Because Elon said just this week, if Kamala gets in, he actually said it. So he's not that stupid, he realized that. But because he poisons the well constantly and gets rid of the best people, here's the thing, I digress. He is doing exactly what Trump did, which you start with the best people because you can buy them, and then they leave because they're horrified by your appalling behavior and the compromises. And then the next level of ambitious things move into those places going, it'll be all right, we can sort him out, how hard could it be? They leave reeling, and now they're down to about the 42nd tier, and it shows, and it shows. I think also, digression too, with the muskrat, he's broken the golden rule. If you want to be the world's richest man and also be seen as the funky young visionary, you've got to keep a bit of mystery. And he has lost his mystery. We all know he's a bad boss. We know he's a stink father. What is it, 10 kids with 10 women or 10 with 8 women or whatever it is? The appalling treatment of his trans daughter. Just hideous. Okay, so will they do anything about Musk, or is it all too much with what else they've got to do? Will they rein him in? Will they rein him in? So, oh, this looks promising. Very promising. I like these better than the other question and the other cards. New administration, brand new. They are sick of this behavior. I think because Elon's got a lot of court cases going on too, Brazil and other countries in Europe and stuff. They're trying to make international laws so these individual men can't control whole tracts of the world. It's just not right. So I think he won't be invited to the inauguration. He certainly won't be invited to their dinners. And I think with this page of Pentacles, that will represent a financial setback because he's typical. Let's just talk about millionaires for a second, not just billionaires, which is they often make money on the public purse because they get every subsidy. They use the roads and infrastructure taxpayers pay for, and they just cream profit off the top. They got all the COVID money that was going for businesses and all of that. So this represents, I think, a diminishing of his money. I'd even go so far as to say he won't be on the Forbes richest list forever, and even in 5 years, because I say China's going to come out with cheaper, more affordable electric vehicles. And don't you love that the Yeti, every time he speaks, um, he vomits all over electric cars. I hate electric cars. Well, why would you want an electric car? They're just going to, explode. They're going to do this. And his chief ally must be going, ah. But Elon decided to get into bed with this man. So we will watch it unfold. Now, don't forget, I've got all those collabs coming up. So I'll see you on various channels in the next few days. So I'll pin it to the comments. Okay. So take care, guys. Lots of love. See ya.